I'm
I think
sure.
my parents, they were supportive of me. Definitely, like there was never a moment my parents were like, "This is really bad. Do something else."
Yeah,
Uh, they were they were really supportive with like um, pushing me in the right direction. Like, hey, like keep trying this. Like, and they would like reach out to people and be like, "Hey, my son's he wants to be a filmmaker. Can you help him out?" And I remember just doing anything that I could to be on a set or help someone out or edit a video. And those are good beginnings. And I'm still in the
yeah,
beginnings, I think.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm still there, still
Mhm.
figuring it out, and happy for the last decade or whatever of professional work. But I mean, I feel like I'm just getting started. So
When do you think will be your Mount Everest? Do you see that coming anytime soon?
I don't know. I do. I feel like I'm closer every day. I just sold my first feature.
Hey, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, felt really
He already
good.
told me that, but I wanted to act
Yeah,
surprised.
but I do feel like,
It's such good news.
yeah, no, it feels really good, and like it's one of those things where I'll like find myself thinking about it because like it doesn't super feel real, and it probably won't feel real till I'm like I see it like on the internet or hold the DVD in my hand or whatever.
Mhm.
But we've been kind of grinding and just lots of long hours just getting the production company. It's called the film is called The Haunting of Grady Farm, and the production company or the distribution company that bought it is called High Octane Pictures, and it's a small like low budget film, and they buy a lot of like low budget things, but it's still it's a step. It's like it kind of I guess feels like my duel in a way. So like hopefully the thing that comes next is my Sugarland Express, and then the thing that comes after that might be my Jaws. I don't know. So
That's awesome, man. And you mentioned Numbers earlier, and Numbers is finally available. You posted it for the first time recently.
yep.
Uh, how long had it been sitting on your hard drive, and you were just like, I'm just going to post it?
Let's see. Made it a month after I got married 5 years ago. So um, we made it, and it was in post for like 6 months or whatever. And we tried to do like festivals and things like that. And so like there was still like some hangups about like posting it, and it was on Amazon Prime for like a little while. Um,
That's cool.
yeah, it was cool. Amazon Prime's got a really great, or Amazon has a really great like independent um, um, filmmaker program, and you can partner with them and kind of get your stuff on there. Um,
I'm
and
actually surprised by that.
yeah, no, it's
Seems like
great.
they'd be really greedy.
Yeah, I mean, it's you, and you kind of like you determine like how much your thing is worth, and they take a good bit of it, but like for me, it wasn't so much about like because I mean, I was getting like, I think I've made probably a total of like 10 cents on that being on Amazon Prime, but I was just happy to be like, yeah, it's a thing you can put on your resume or a thing you can put on your IMDb or whatever. Um, is got a short film on Amazon Prime, and it they do have like a certain like criteria for how many views like per month, and like um, the for a while like it was hitting that criteria, but then I mean like it's a thing that independent shorts, they're not supposed to have like longevity, so like I'm not surprised that like it got pulled because it didn't get enough views, but and I'm not bummed, because that means that now I can put it up. It's on Vimeo and it's free and anybody can see it. So that's what I think the goal should be, is that just making it so you want to get your stuff seen, and now people can see it.
Do you want to tell anyone like what it's about? Just give like a quick elevator pitch type of thing.
Yeah, I'm bad at these. Um, it's about a guy who survived the Holocaust, and he is looking for the camp tattooist. So he's looking for the guy who like put the numbers on his arm, basically.
And that's why it's called that.
And
That's
there's-
awesome, dude. So I was also on set for this, but do you want to tell people about the film that hopefully is coming out soonish?
Yeah. Giving
It's a really interesting story.
giving you that what you
Do what?
most is
Mm-hmm.
it's a horror drama, super inspired by kind of the A24 brand of horror filmmaking, the slow burn, really high production. It's about who are trying to have a baby, and they are pretty desperate. They turn to some pretty desperate. They take some pretty desperate measures to have this baby, and
Mm-hmm.
it gets pretty crazy, very bloody.
And if you watch the film, you might recognize where Matt is because we filmed a little bit in there.
Yeah. This is I live on set.
Matt lives on a real film set. It's worth a lot of money.
All the time. I would love that. That'd be cool. Like to live on a film set or something. But
Yeah.
in California or whatever.
And so another interesting aspect I think would be a really good discussion is the entire cast are females.
Mm-hmm.
When was that a conscious choice, or were you like, this makes sense for it to be an all female cast?
Yeah, I mean it was a thing that when I was writing it, I was like, I don't know. I didn't. I had the first draft. I wrote 2 different drafts, and there was a man in the first draft, but I was like, and not in like any like political way. And I mean, I'm just gonna come out and say it. I'm pretty liberal, whatever. But like, I don't want like. But I do want to, like, when I make films, I want to just, make sure that they're like respectful for everybody, and that, women aren't just like, I'm in danger. Of course, all the women in this film are in danger. But
Aren't we all?
yeah. But I don't know. It just like writing that draft with like the man, I was like, it just didn't feel, I was like, am I brave enough to write? And not that I'm like some brave guy or whatever. Like it's not about like being able to say, look what I did. It just didn't feel like I was writing the right film. So when I did make it, I think it was Daniel, and then it became Danielle. And I was like, it was always Danielle. It's kind of like, when you see a thing, you're like, oh, it was always this. Like, why was I ever thinking it wasn't this? And then I had some friends read it, and I was like, this is kind of what I'm thinking. And they're like they kind of agreed. They were like, yeah, it's Danielle. It's Danielle and Ariel. Like that's who the characters are. So I was like, all right, cool. And that was like confirmation. Like, cause I mean, the thing I didn't want to do was be like, just be like, oh, I can write about, I can write an all women film, and then like have it like come out and people be like, yikes, maybe you should have done that. You've done us no good.
I think it's a really respectful film.
Thank you.
And I think it empowers women to a certain degree. It's not necessarily like a girl power kind of film, but it's like a very underlying theme without it being so blatant. So I think that was masterfully done, honestly.
Thank you. I hope to have it done before the quarantine is over.
So next year.
And look forward in 3 years. No, but I mean, I also, I want to have, every time I finish like a film, like I want to have like a big, like come together party premiere thing. And obviously that's not happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to rush it. And it's in the final stages. And so once it's done, everybody in the world will know, or at least, people who follow me on social media will know, and we'll figure out a premiere and everything like that. And, everybody and their moms will be invited. My mom might be invited. She also might not be, she's going to be invited, but she might not like it. It's, she's like, you should do a happy movie. And it is.
That sounds like my mom on it. Cause, whenever I've made my horror films, she'll I don't expect her to ever watch it, so I never message her, but she'll message me and she'll be like, why don't you do something, more cheerful and happy. Like I remember being a kid, and sometimes my mom would be like, "Hey, I'm going to the rental store and picking up a pizza. Do you want me to get you a game or anything?" And I'd be like, "This game," and then she'd like call me or something and be like, "This looks really mean. Are you sure you want to get this?" I'm like, "Mom, the only good games are mean looking."
Yeah, you gotta shoot people in games or something.
Something like that. But so they say sometimes done is better than perfect. Do you hold that philosophy true with like your writing and your filmmaking?
Yes, but it's also like I'm a perfectionist, um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm deeply aware that my perfectionism is entirely stemmed from fear, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
afraid that like the thing won't be good. Like I'm afraid to show somebody something because I'm afraid that they're going to be like, this isn't good. Like the whole time, like watching like numbers, and we showed it in a theater, and I was like, they're gonna hate it. They're gonna hate it. I should have fixed something, and blah blah blah. But of course, it ended up being fantastic, and it's like I would tell people like, yeah, like just finish it, get it done. But it's hard for me to sometimes like just be like, okay, it's 100% done, because it's scary to show. I mean, I make films that are fairly vulnerable for myself, and so it's scary to like invite people into that,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't like that was stupid. You're just, and no one is ever, even if somebody like doesn't like it, like they're not going to come up to you and be like, I didn't like that. So like there really should be like no fear in like that, but it's definitely like I've got a project that has been going on for way too long at this point. It's called All Things Must Pass, and it's a series of shorts that are kind of like thematically similar. And a big part of the reason that it's not quite done yet is just because like I'm like kind of like afraid to be like, okay, I'm done, because I want like there's that drive inside me that's like it needs to be perfect, it needs to be flawless, and it needs to be like it needs to be like nobody can say that it like wasn't like perfect or whatever. And of course, it's there's no such thing as a perfect film, and we should be striving for like good storytelling and good think like we shouldn't have to worry about we should sorry, starting over.
You're good.
What we should be seeking is artistic satisfaction, not other people's praise.